Good evening, I'm Rohini Singh and these are tonight's top stories. Supreme Court denies bail to Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam in the Delhi riots conspiracy case, citing their central role in the violence. Public health emergency unfolds in Indore as a waterborne epidemic claims 10 lives and hospitalizes hundreds in the Bhagirathpura area. India overtakes China to become the world's largest rice producer, a historic agricultural milestone. And the Prime Minister Modi inaugurates the Delhi section of the Namo Bharat Rapid Rail, bringing the capital closer to Meerut. And a severe cold wave grips North India, with dense fog disrupting air travel across major cities. These stories and more coming up. Stay with us. We begin tonight with a significant judicial development. New Zealand declined to grant bail to Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam in connection with the 2020 Delhi unrest case, which is being examined under allegations related to a larger conspiracy. The Supreme Court today denied bail to activists Umar Khalid and Sharjeel Imam in the 2020 Delhi riots conspiracy case. The court stated that both activists played a central role in the violence and stand on a different footing from other accused. While 5 co-accused were granted relief, the bench emphasized the gravity of charges against the 2 activists. This decision comes more than 4 years after the riots that shook the national capital. Turning to a developing health emergency, officials in Indore have declared a waterborne outbreak and epidemic following at least 10 deaths and hundreds of hospitalizations in the city's Bhagirathpura area. Medical teams are working round the clock to identify how sewage contaminated the municipal drinking water supply. Authorities have launched intensive testing and sanitation operations to contain the outbreak. On a positive note for the nation's economy, Agriculture Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan announced today that India has surpassed China to become the world's largest rice producer. India's production has reached an impressive 150.18 million tons, significantly strengthening the country's position in the global export market. This achievement underscores India's agricultural prowess and food security capability. In related economic news, domestic gold prices witnessed a sharp rise in major cities including Delhi and Mumbai. Market analysts attribute this surge to fresh geopolitical tensions in South America and a weakening rupee, prompting investors to seek refuge in the precious metal. Meanwhile, a Bank of Baroda report reveals that Andhra Pradesh has secured the top spot for investment proposals in the current fiscal year, capturing a substantial 25.3% share. Amaravati is emerging as the primary destination for these industrial and infrastructure projects. Shifting focus to infrastructure, Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the 13-kilometer new Ashok Nagar to Sahibabad section of the Delhi-Meerut Rapid Rail Transit System today. This extension brings the Namo Bharat train into Delhi and once fully operational, will allow commuters to reach Meerut from the capital in just 40 minutes. The RRTS is set to revolutionize regional connectivity in the national capital region. In another major infrastructure announcement, the government has approved a 7-kilometer tunnel on the Kedarnath pilgrimage route to ensure year-round connectivity. The project aims to significantly reduce travel time and bypass areas prone to landslides and heavy snowfall, enhancing safety for thousands of pilgrims. Staying with development projects, the Bhogapuram Airport in Andhra Pradesh successfully conducted its validation flight today, marking a critical milestone toward commercial operations. When GMR-operated airport is expected to significantly boost tourism and trade in the region. On the defence front, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh commissioned Samudra Pratap in Goa today, the first indigenously built pollution control vessel for the Indian Coast Guard. The vessel is specifically designed to tackle oil spills and environmental threats along India's vast coastline. Adding to our naval capabilities, India's 4th Arihant-class nuclear-powered submarine is likely to be named INS Arisudan. The vessel is expected to significantly enhance the naval leg of India's nuclear triad with its upgraded missile capacity. The Indian Army has signed a 293 crore contract with Navy Limited for Suryastra long-range rocket launchers developed with Israeli collaboration. These systems offer an impressive deep strike capability of up to 300 kilometers. Indian Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi began a 2-day official visit to the UAE today, aimed at strengthening bilateral defense cooperation. The visit focuses on joint training exercises and exploring potential exports of Indian defense equipment to the region. Diplomatic developments. Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal is scheduled to visit Brussels this week for crucial final stage negotiations on the India-EU Free Trade Agreement. Negotiators are working to resolve remaining challenges regarding dairy products, spirits and professional labour mobility. Moving to law and order, political tensions have escalated in Punjab following the murder of an AAP-affiliated Sarpanch in Amritsar. The victim was shot dead at a wedding in a brazen broad daylight attack. Following the incident, the BJP has called for the resignation of Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann, alleging a complete collapse of law and order in the state. In another controversial development, Gurmeet Ram Rahim Singh has been granted his 15th parole, coming out of Rohtak Sunaria jail to stay at the Barnawa Ashram in Uttar Pradesh. This frequent judicial relief for the convicted Dera Sacha Sauda chief has reignited public debates. Tensions fled in Bengaluru after a stone-pelting incident during a temple procession in JJ Nagar. Police have filed an FIR, and while several people, including children, were injured, the situation is now under control. Kerala's Vigilance Department has recommended a central agency review matters linked to the Punarnayaniyani project launched after the 2018 floods. The recommendation references leader of opposition V.D. Satheesan and concerns related to FCRA compliance. Turning to the sports arena, diplomatic tensions have spilled onto the cricket field. The Bangladesh Cricket Board has requested that their T20 World Cup matches be moved out of India, citing security concerns. This follows a BCCI directive that led to the release of Bangladeshi players from IPL squads, escalating the sporting dispute between the two nations. Looking ahead, ICC Chairman Jay Shah confirmed that India is officially targeting Gujarat as the host for the 2036 Olympic Games. The ambitious plan involves leveraging infrastructure from the 2030 Commonwealth Games to meet the Sports Ministry's target of 100 medals. Now to an important weather update. The India Meteorological Department has issued a severe cold wave alert for parts of Punjab, Haryana and Delhi. Dense fog has already disrupted regional travel, with several flights at Lucknow and Delhi airports forced to divert or circle due to zero visibility. Residents are advised to take necessary precautions and avoid unnecessary travel during early morning hours. In related natural events, a magnitude 5.1 earthquake shook parts of Assam and Meghalaya early this morning. While the tremors caused brief panic, no casualties or significant property damage have been reported. On the governance front, Science Minister Jitendra Singh announced the removal of the 3-year existence rule for deep tech startups. And this progressive policy shift allows early-stage companies to gain faster recognition and immediate access to government industrial research funding aimed at accelerating domestic innovation. Home Minister Amit Shah laid foundation stones for projects worth 373 crore rupees in Sri Vijayapuram, the newly renamed Port Blair in the Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The initiatives focus on energy security and a new exhibition highlighting the island's historic role in India's independence struggle. The Kerala government has announced that the state budget for 2026-27 will be presented on January 29th, a crucial election year budget as the state heads toward assembly polls later this year. In progressive social news, Uttar Pradesh has inaugurated its first state-level Braille library at Dr. Shakuntala Mishra National Rehabilitation University, designed to provide quality educational resources to visually impaired students and scholars. The National Testing Agency is expected to release JEE Main 2026 City Intimation Slips later today, with over 1 million students preparing for the first session of the National Engineering Entrance Exam starting next week. And finally tonight, in a historic first for the Republic Day celebrations, Ladakh's double-humped Bactrian camels will feature in the 77th Republic Day Parade. Known as silent warriors of the high-altitude desert, these magnificent animals are being trained to showcase Ladakh's unique cultural and military heritage. That's all from us this evening. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay safe, and we'll see you tomorrow with more news and updates. Good night.